There is a deeply wired instinct in all of us to seek out a space where nothing unexpected ever happens. We want to carve out a corner of the world, insulate it from the weather, and build a predictable life. High in the mountains, a small sparrow found what looked like a perfect sanctuary. Tucked inside the hollow interior of an old, abandoned temple bell, she discovered a space shielded from the rain and cool in the summer heat. Twig by twig, she constructed her home. Because the heavy bronze walls hid her from the outside world, she convinced herself that she had found a permanent refuge. She believed that as long as she stayed within this shell, she was safe. We follow the same pattern. This diagram shows a static area we call the comfort zone, surrounded by a vast growth zone. When we find a routine or a job that feels secure, we stop exploring. All of our energy circulates inward, maintaining the boundaries of a tiny, predictable world. Over time, the environment becomes narrowed and dark. By locking ourselves into a single, unchanging space, we lose the ability to navigate anything outside of it. The very walls that offer security eventually become a cage. By refusing to adapt or expand, we become fragile. The longer we hide inside a static shell, the more vulnerable we are to the external forces that inevitably arrive. For the sparrow, the silence ended one morning without warning. After years of abandonment, the temple monks returned. A heavy wooden beam swung forward, striking the side of the bell in a single thunderous blow. The vibration was violent. In a fraction of a second, the sparrow's home tore apart. Twigs snapped, feathers scattered, and she was forced out into the open air as her world collapsed into dust. That strike happens in our lives too. You experience a sudden layoff, an unexpected end to a long relationship, or a total shift in your circumstances. The reality you spent years building shatters in an afternoon. The immediate reflex is to internalize the disaster. We ask, "Why me?" and assume the disruption is a personal punishment or a sign that we have failed. But the monk didn't strike the bell to hurt the bird. Disruption is rarely a personal judgment. It is the neutral, unstoppable movement of a world that is constantly changing. Driven out of the temple, the sparrow wandered aimlessly across harsh valleys. She spent days searching empty branches, her wings growing heavy and her energy fading without a clear destination in sight. This is the wilderness phase. This chart maps security over time, showing a sharp decline after a crisis, followed by a long horizontal trough. This is the gap between losing an old life and finding a new one. In this trough, you feel zero momentum. You expend massive energy just to stay afloat, often trying to find a way back to exactly what you lost. The exhaustion builds until it feels easier to simply stop trying. Survival here requires blind resilience, the raw instinct to keep moving and searching, even when you have no map and no idea where the journey ends. Rebuilding doesn't start with a master plan. It starts with a commitment to continuous, incremental forward motion, even when you are too tired to see the path ahead. After days of searching, the sparrow tracked the sound of rushing water, following it deep into a hidden forest glade. This new environment offered everything the bell could not. There were berry trees for food and fresh water nearby. Most importantly, the branches were living and flexible, unlike the cold, static metal of the temple. She began to build again, but this time she was more capable. She selected stronger sticks and anchored them into branches that moved with the wind. She used the lessons from her journey to construct a home that was more resilient than the first. Resting in the sunlight, she realized the truth. If the bell had never been struck, she would have lived her entire life unaware of this forest. She would have stayed trapped inside that shell until she was too old to fly. What we perceive as a devastating loss is often the only force strong enough to remove us from a place we have outgrown. The bell doesn't just destroy the nest, it forces the bird to find the sky. Look back at the moments your own world shook. The things that shattered your routine forced you to develop skills and find resources you never would have sought out otherwise. When life violently shakes your world, do not freeze. Keep moving and keep building. The same strike that destroyed your old nest is what finally allowed you to find a better one.